What's up, Wednesday Warriors? Today we're going over our new comic book day pickups for the day of April 16th, 2025. I just came back from my local LCS, and you know what that means? My wallet's a little bit lighter and my stacks of comics is a little bit higher. But with that being said, I think we got some great stuff to go over today. I got some great pickups, so I can't wait to show you what I picked up today from my LCS. And what's going to kick us off this week is probably my favorite book going right now. Definitely one of my favorite books going right now. And I'm not talking about Amazing Spider-Man. I'm not talking about Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm talking about IDW's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And today we're talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 8 from writer Jeffrey Aarons and artist Juan Ferreira. Listen, I absolutely love this book. I think that Jason Aarons is absolutely killing it. He's been killing it from issue 1. If you're a Turtles fan and you're not reading Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you need to head to your LCS ASAP and pick up issues 1 through 8 because this book has been a certified banger. This story started off with picking up from the end of the last run, and the Turtles are spread out and find themselves in different places at odds with each other. You have Raphael in jail. Leonardo is on a beach somewhere. Michelangelo is doing his thing, and Donatello is kind of held prisoner at a zoo as gulag type situation where he's malnourished and having to fight on a daily basis. And it's just been a very interesting dynamic to see these brothers kind of displaced and falling apart after losing Splinter to trying to find themselves back together and come free New York after it's been taken over by the Foot. Juan Ferreira came in about, I want to say issue 5 or 6. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but his art is just absolutely complimentary to Jason Aaron's writing. I mean, it makes it fantastic. We all know the godfather of the Turtles will and forever be Mr. Kevin Eastman, but I think Juan Ferreira sits here and delivers an amazing offering on this turtle book. So much so that I want to go through the newest issue here with you and show you some of the art on it because it is absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to stop sharing my screen there and I'm going to go ahead and share this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with you real quick and just show you just how absolutely beautiful Juan's art is and how complimentary it is to Jason Aaron's storytelling. And I don't know, you tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. But here we go, sharing my screen. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 8 right here. I mean, look at this art. You start off with this action shot of Leonardo just kicking this foot soldier into a window of a subway. And the whole book, this whole issue is pretty much Leonardo having this internal dialogue about himself. And he says, I wish he was still on a beach with some soft-shell turtles next to the riverside and meditating and things like that. And then he comes back to kicking foot butt on the subway, and you get this sweet action shot of Michelangelo just doing this spinning kick, and then Leonardo with his kick here, and Raphael with this high knee on the train. And Raphael and Leonardo are fighting inside the train, and Michelangelo is fighting on top of the train. Just look at that panel, man. That panel is perfection personified. It is so beautiful. And then we get down to this it's kind of a busier panel, but I love the detail in the turtles and everything that's going on. And you see how disheveled and just malnourished and ill Donatello is. And this whole issue, Leonardo's, like I said, having this internal dialogue where he's worried about Donatello and his mental state and his health and kind of what's going on. And they're all fighting the Foot every night, trying to figure out what's going on. And Leonardo's worried about Donatello and what he's doing. So at one point, he decides to follow Donatello and just watch her from a distance, and kind of makes Donatello upset. So they start fighting, and you see he delivers this kick right here to Leonardo, and then also runs in and attacks him, just hits him in the face with his staff. And I mean, look at that action shot all the way up to Leonardo's face right here as he's getting ready to come back and retaliate against Donatello. And you just see this action shot here of Donatello blocking that shot, and all these panels. Dude, this is such a great story. I love this image of Leonardo here in the shadows, kind of the way that he uses the shadow and the light in this image. And it's just a beautiful art for this book, man. And look at this Bebop and Rocksteady. You can't do Bebop and Rocksteady much better. Look how good that is. That's phenomenal. I'm absolutely loving this book. I can't wait for the next issue. This is my most anticipated book every single month. I can't wait for more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And the synopsis on this is Donnie's on edge. One of the most reliable and risk averse of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Donatello's mind is spinning out of control following his violent stay in captivity. Fortunately, his brothers are there to protect him from the army of Foot Clan ninjas bent on destroying them all. But how can the Ninja Turtles save Donatello from the voices of their dead master Splinter that Donnie insists he's hearing in his head? And that's what you see there. If you go way back into the previous Ninja Turtles run, you know that Bebop and Rocksteady cracked Donatello's shell. It was this whole story arc where we thought Donatello died, but alas, he was not dead, and he's got a new like titanium shell now, and that's how Juan used the different parts of his shell to do the different turtles and show the main characters and main players in this issue. And like I said, Donatello talking to a dead rat that he thinks is Splinter because he's not all there. It's a great read. If you are or not a Turtles fan, definitely check it out. Jason Aaron's and Juan Ferrer are absolutely murdering this book. Up next, we have this Joshua Cassara gallery variant for Superior Avengers #1. These ain't your daddy's Avengers, and there came a day unlike any other when Doctor Doom ruled the world and he needed an Avengers team all of his own. Christoph Bernard, son of Victor Von Doom, has been tasked with building the newest iteration of Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Who are these would-be heroes, and how did they come to be the Superior Avengers? So this book is very interesting. It takes place with Doom's kid trying to impress his dad and he's going forward in time to different points in this Doom's reign to find basically people that he thinks are Doom's sympathizers, people that will show, you know, that Doctor Doom's rule will work, and what Doctor Doom is doing is going to work, and he pulls them out of time and brings them into the present to form this new Avengers team. And you get some pretty interesting faces in this new Avengers team. You get the likes of Doc Ock. You get the female Doc Ock, I should say. You get a female Killmonger. You get who else? I'm trying to draw a blank on who else is in this book. You get it's gonna kill me here. Onslaught, that's right. So you get a female Doc Ock, you get a female Killmonger, you get Onslaught, you get Abomination, who's kind of dressed like Captain America almost, like I guess Captain Doom if you want. Hail Doom all over the place. But your team is Killmonger, Abomination, Dr. Octopus, Onslaught, Malekith, Ghost, and that makes up your Superior Avengers team. It was a good first issue. It definitely got me excited for issue 2. Will have me come back for issue 2, and I'll continue. If it continues being good, I'll continue it on. It was pretty much just a basic first issue where it just set up the story, kind of introduced you to this new Superior Avengers team and the plot of what's going to drive this book to the future. So I enjoyed Superior Avengers #1 enough to come back for #2, and I really liked this Joshua Cassara gallery variant here. Up next, we have Absolute Flash, this cover D Clayton Crane variant. Can Wally West outrun the rogues? Wally West is on the run from his dad and the rest of the Fort Fox, and while his newfound abilities are terrifying him, he needs to find a way to use them to make his escape. But how will he handle the elite group his father sent to bring him back? Look, I've loved this Absolute run. I've loved Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, and Absolute Wonder Woman. Absolute Flash is a great addition to this. I'm still on the fence about Absolute Martian Manhunter and Absolute Green Lantern, but this issue kind of threw me for a loop a little bit because it starts where issue 1 left off, with Wally sitting in front of Barry Allen's dead body, and then it kind of cuts back to a point in time where Barry Allen is alive and Wally West is like disappearing into what I assume is the Speed Force, and Wally's dad is coming after Barry, and much like Dr. Manhattan, Wally like materializes in front of them and then disappears again and the story comes back to the current time where he's being hunted by the rogues. I don't know, it's kind of all over the place, but it is Jeff Lemire It is a great story. I've loved it so far. I'm coming back for issue 3. It's probably top 3 in my absolute book, right behind absolute Batman, Superman, and then Wonder Woman would fall just below this. I kind of feel like absolute Wonder Woman started strong, but over the couple issues has fallen to the weaker side of the absolute stuff, but it's still better, in my opinion, than Martian Manhunter or Green Lantern. I don't know. Those books just didn't really speak to me as much as absolute Batman and absolute Flash and Superman have. And so I would definitely say pick up this absolute Flash cover. And I decided to go, like I said, with this cover D Clayton Crane variant. Then we have this Daniel Warren Johnson Wolverine 8 Legacy number 400, celebrating the 400th issue of Wolverine with the fight of his life, a massive issue you cannot afford to miss. Wolverine faces off with Adamantium, and Wendigo is pulled into a deadly trap as a specter from Wolverine's past emerges. And Wolverine's story you never thought you'd see begins here. I absolutely love this cover. I have not gotten a chance to read this book yet because I haven't had time after picking it up. I'm going to get to it here in the next couple of days. But the thing about this cover is that I'm hearing in the ethers that a lot of LCSs that received this book received it damaged. And I know for a fact, like my LCS did right here. I don't know if you can see it, but like on the bottom here, there's some like damage. I don't know if that's from the printer or from shipping, but you can kind of see it here. There's a lot of corner scuffing. And the crazy thing about these all black covers, or this black and gray cover like this, is as beautiful as it looks. The promo art like this does it a good job, but it just looks so beautiful being held in your hand. This book is going for, this is an open order book. It's a $7.99 cover price. Right now it's going for about $40, $30 to $40 on eBay. And I think it's going to be one that's going to be hard to get in a high grade. I'm sure you'll get some 9/8 out of this, but like I said, this all black covers like this show every defect and every nick, and it's really hard. And like I said, I've heard from a lot of people in the mythos and the ethers that a lot of these books came beat up and damaged, and I think it's gonna probably be hard to get a 9/8, let alone a 10 out of these. And if you do, they're probably gonna end up going for a pretty penny at some point. But right now, like I said, eBay's got them for anywhere between 30 and $40. But this is a beautiful, beautiful Daniel Warren Johnson variant. Up next, we have the Sean Wee variant. I'm probably butchering that. Sean Wee variant for exceptional X-Men. I've not read this book yet. This is one that, this is honestly, if I'm being transparent, this is a book that's on my pull list. That is one of those ones that I pick up to continue the run because I started at issue 1, but I kind of fell off. I haven't been as interested in X-Men. I don't know. I need to go back and reread these to see if I even want to continue on. And with the price of books getting higher and higher, $4.99, $3.99, whatever this cover is, I think some decisions are going to have to be made here, and I might not be able to continue just buying books because it continue to run if I'm not going to read it. But the synopsis is, our guy AXO is in trouble, big trouble. He's bitten off more than he can chew in his relationship with the charismatic technologist and Ventra CEO Sheldon Zenas, and now he's being held hostage while an Alex clone wanders around in his stead. Can the rest of the exceptional team bail him out, or will they fall for the dupe of their beloved friend? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below if you're reading exceptional X-Men and what you think of it, and if you think that it's worth continuing on and reading up to issue 8, or if you think I should drop this book altogether. Because right now, like I said, I've fallen behind, and it's just one that I continue to pick up because it's on the pull list, and I'm just continuing the run. Then we have Ultimate Wolverine number 4. I've actually really enjoyed this book. I know a lot of people have hated on it, but it's been different. It's been kind of an interesting take on Wolverine. It's like, what if Wolverine was the Winter Soldier, right? So it says the Winter Soldier thaws. Wolverine's confrontation with Kitty Pryde and Gambit leaves him disoriented, violent, and questioning his maker's council overlords. Who is Logan? I skimmed this book. It's a lot of weirdness in it, but I gotta say, the ending is shocking. There's a shocking character making their debut in this Ultimate Universe in the very end of the book, and it's very, very interesting what they're doing with this character. So I'm going to definitely go back and actually read the issue. I am caught up. I just haven't read issue 4 yet because I just picked it up today, but I did skim it, and looking at the back of it, I've got to read this book now just so I can find out what's going on with the character on the last page. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it was a huge pop for me, and it made me excited to go back and actually read this. But Ultimate Wolverine number 4, I picked that up, this A cover today. And then we have what's probably the most been talked about cover about the last 24 to 48 hours. I don't really know why this cover was going for such a pretty penny online and on Instagram. I saw it like 19, $20, and this is an open order cover. It's a B cover. I picked one up today off the shelf in my LCS. They were limited to one per customer. My shop owner did say that he had somebody call before, like right before the shop opened, and tried to get him to hold every single issue for him. And he said, nah, it's going to be one per customer. So I was lucky enough to pick up this cover. It is the spring of this is it. Spring into the summer of Superman, the Man of Steel and his universe of friends, family, allies, and rogues is in for some big changes, and it all starts in Summer of Superman Special. Brought to you by Superman series architects Joshua Williamson, love it, writing Superman Mark Waid, Superman Action Comics, and making his grand entrance to the world of tomorrow, Dan Slott. Oy vey. This special oversized issue will set the stage for all the major events exploding throughout the Superman titles. When John Henry Irons and Lana Lang take their vows, everyone turns up for the big day, but trouble is brewing on the horizon as threats from the past, present, and future. As threats from the past, present, and future kick off a major new conflict for the Superman family. Beautiful cover. Now, being such a massive, amazing Spider-Man fan, this book scares me. And it doesn't scare me for Joshua Williamson. It doesn't scare me because of Mark Waid. It scares me because of Dan Slott. When Dan Slott is on, he's on. Think of Superior Spider-Man. When Dan Slott misses, though, he misses. And in his time on Amazing Spider-Man, there was a lot of misses. There was a good amount of hits, too, but there was a lot of misses. And Dan, it just doesn't feel like my favorite writer. And in a character I already have an issue with Superman, I made no secrets that I am not a massive Superman fan. I've kind of softened on that stance thanks to Absolute Superman, because I've really enjoyed that storyline and that different take on how he came to Krypton, or how, that he spent time on Krypton and how he came to Earth as a teenager instead of a child, and the different changes they made in that book. I've really loved Absolute Superman, and it's kind of softened me on my stance on Superman. Whereas I have a feeling that Dan Slott, if anyone can do it, it would be him. Could potentially turn me back to absolutely despising Superman and not even wanting to read Absolute anymore, even though he's not writing it. But I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it just because I'm curious yet fearful, cautiously optimistic about what Dan Slott is going to bring when he starts his run on Superman. And I guess right now is I've already got it. Right now is a perfect time to read his story and see what he's got in mind and where we go from here and where he's going to take the Man of Steel. But I am cautiously optimistic because it is Dan Slott. And like I said, when he hits, he hits. But when he misses, he goes down swinging. But I do love this beautiful Supergirl cover, which feels like this is going to be the year's Supergirl with all this leaks and stuff coming out from the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow movie and everything. And I just can't wait for that movie. But the hype is real on this book. I love this cover. Absolutely beautiful. If you can still get your hands on one at your LCS, definitely pick it up today. But that'll do it for me. That's all my pickups this week. It was kind of a light week. The last 2 weeks have been kind of a light week. We had a massive week at the beginning of the month, and then the last two, or maybe it was the end of last month, I can't remember. But we had a massive week a few weeks ago, and the last 2 weeks have been kind of light for me. Just, that's it. Not a lot picked up. I did like what I've read so far. I can't wait to dive into some stuff. And like I said, cautiously optimistic, dive into this Dan Slott Superman story. But that'll be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section below, what'd you pick up this week? What are you reading? What did I maybe miss out on? What's something that you think that I should have picked up that maybe I didn't? Feel free to leave that in below. If you like all the content I'm giving you here, why don't you make sure to hit that like, subscribe button. Turn that notification bell on so you know when we go live with all of our beautiful, beautiful content. And as always, if you want more from me, more from this channel, and more about what I picked up this week or best and worst covers of the week, why don't you just select one of the other videos that are going to pop up here and continue on this absolute geek goodness. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Happy new comic book day, and we'll see you next week at the spinner rack.